Practically every Brazilian child wants to be like Neymar. This is why we're not producing players, talent, individual stars. And it's because we're not allowing children to be creative. We're taking the creativity away from kids. So I'm in Campinas, Brazil, visiting time here with my wife and her family. And we've gone out and watched a couple of practices from professional clubs to amateur clubs. And I'm at an amateur club yesterday. One of the kids over dribbles. He's an 11-year-old over dribbling. No question about it. Pulls two defenders and doesn't even think of passing the ball. Head down, focus on the skill. I asked the coach, I'm like, you guys okay with that? He's like, no. Gotta pass the ball. And I was like, okay, well, why do you think he's doing that? He's like, every child wants to be like Neymar. And I'm like, for me, that's a great thing. Every kid wants to be like Neymar. Why would we want to take that away from them? It's my second trip to Brazil in less than a year. And I'm seeing more and more of it. And I've had some kind of deeper conversations from some guys that have played professional, that are around the game, higher ups within the Brazilian hierarchy, so to speak. And they're all relaying the same information to me. Clubs are expecting the children to come in prepared. That means technically and tactically. And they're expecting them to fit a system. They're expecting them, even at 8 or 9 years old, to fit a system. Well, let's think about what made Brazilian football great. I call it the favela kid. And when I mean favela kid, I mean a kid from the street that was willing to take on the world, that didn't care about what anybody said, how they did it. They just went out and played football with a smile on their face. Like you've probably seen the Nike commercial, Jogo Bonito, right? Jogo Bonito, play beautifully. And I'm watching Brazilian football right now and I'm not seeing that. And this is a country that has won 5 World Cups. They've lost that spark. And the way that they actually call it in Brazil is criança de comunidade, which means kid from the community. They're not producing players like that. One of the gentlemen told me was they've adopted the European model. Tactics, systems, rondos, positional play. And I'm going, you've lost, or you're losing the essence of what made you great. And I'm going, if you don't bring it back, you're just producing what everybody else is producing. You're not producing that talent on a scaled basis year after year that made you this dominant platform for a century. So then I'm sitting there going, you want the kids to think that they can be like Neymar. That's what made you culturally great. And if you take that away from them, then what do they become? And you might argue, well, they need to learn how to pass the ball. I'm not arguing that they shouldn't pass the ball. And if you just listen to children, they give you the answer. He's telling me the kids want to be like Neymar. Why are we opposed to that? Adults will say, I want to see them play beautiful football. What's beautiful football to you? What is it to a child? And for most kids, it's the ability to dribble, create, take a man on, score a goal. They're passing there too, sure, but that's beautiful football for children. And yet we're telling them, hey, sorry, don't do that because we want tactics, systems, rondos. Well, we're taking the fun, the expressiveness, especially out of a culture. And it looks like, based on a couple of people that I've talked to, that the Brazilian culture in terms of participation has dropped significantly. One, kind of like the US, technology has ramped up, right? Technology is through the roof. And then part 2 would be that it's no longer as fun. It's not as fun. What do you think's happening to children when they're not having fun? They go somewhere else. It's the same thing that happens in the United States that I talk about all the time. It's time now for a renaissance in football again. I would say from 2010 to 2025, that 15-year window, there's been a tactical renaissance, right? This positional play, this rondos this systems that. Everybody has it from 9 years old all the way up to professionals. Okay, it's time for a freedom renaissance where kids get to be kids again. Football gets to be about fun. My goal, when I say I'm saving US soccer, is to bring that back. And I'm going to show you how shortly.